Oligopolistic markets are defined by several distinctive characteristics that differentiate them from other market structures. First and foremost, these markets exhibit limited competition due to the presence of a small number of firms dominating the industry. Each firm holds significant market power, allowing them to influence prices and outputs. Consequently, the actions of one firm typically induce a reaction from the others, necessitating strategic decision-making. Additionally, firms in oligopolistic markets tend to have high barriers to entry, which can include large capital requirements, access to technology, or control over distribution networks. These barriers help maintain the oligopoly by preventing new competitors from entering the market. Another feature is product differentiation, where companies may offer similar yet distinct products to gain competitive advantages over rivals. While differentiation can be minimal, it plays a crucial role in influencing consumer choices and maintaining brand loyalty. Furthermore, oligopolistic firms often engage in forms of non-price competition, such as advertising, product innovation, and enhanced customer services, to capture market share without instigating price wars. This behavior underscores the interdependent nature of these firms, where the strategic choices of one can impact the entire market. Key examples of oligopoly in the real world. Real-world examples of oligopoly can be observed across various industries, providing insight into the complexities of this market structure. The automotive industry is a notable example, dominated by a few major players such as Toyota, Ford, and Volkswagen. These firms dictate industry trends and respond strategically to each other's actions, from pricing to technological advancements. Another prominent example is the commercial airline industry, where companies like American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and United Airlines control a substantial market share. This sector embodies the oligopolistic tendency towards high entry barriers and interdependent decision-making, as airlines often mirror each other's pricing strategies and flight offerings. The telecommunications sector also illustrates oligopoly, with companies like AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile leading the market in the United States. These firms' control over infrastructure and spectrum licenses limits competition and shapes the industry's dynamic. Through these examples, the intricacies and strategic interactions of oligopolistic markets become more comprehensible to those studying business dynamics at an advanced level. Introduction to Game Theory: Basic Principles and Concepts. Game theory is a fundamental framework used to understand the strategic interactions among rational decision-makers. At its core, game theory analyzes how individuals make decisions when they realize their actions influence one another. The most essential components include players, strategies, payoffs, and outcomes. Each player in a game has a set of strategies at their disposal, representing the possible actions they can take. The relationship between these actions and the resulting outcomes is critical. The benefits or losses experienced by each player are known as payoffs. A foundational concept in game theory is the Nash equilibrium, a situation where players reach a strategy combination where no party can benefit by unilaterally changing their strategy. This stability makes the Nash equilibrium a pivotal focal point in predicting the outcomes of games. Understanding these principles helps in modeling behaviors not only in economics but in social sciences and political science too, where strategic interactions are prevalent. The role of strategy in game theory. In game theory, strategy holds a pivotal role. It refers to a comprehensive plan of action that outlines how a player will respond in every possible scenario within the game. Strategy development requires recognizing that other players also aim to optimize their outcomes. Consequently, players must anticipate the potential moves and countermoves of opponents. The key to successful strategic decision-making lies in the ability to foresee the consequences of one's decisions in light of others' actions. Different types of strategies exist within game theory, such as dominant strategies, mixed strategies, and pure strategies. A dominant strategy is one that yields better payoffs regardless of what opponents do. In contrast, a mixed strategy involves probabilistically choosing between different possible moves. Pure strategies entail consistently following a single action throughout the game. Strategic thinking is crucial in competitive environments, such as businesses operating in oligopolies where firms are mutually dependent. Game theory provides insights into how firms may set prices, output levels, or even engage in competitive advertising. By incorporating strategic considerations, firms can better navigate the complexities of market competition, ensuring they maintain competitive advantages in varied economic landscapes. Strategic interactions in oligopoly. Nash equilibrium in oligopolistic markets. In the study of oligopolistic markets, understanding strategic interactions is essential. These markets are characterized by a few dominant firms that are interdependent in their decision-making processes. One of the key concepts in analyzing these interactions is the Nash equilibrium, a principle central to game theory. Named after mathematician John Nash, the Nash equilibrium occurs when each firm in a market chooses its optimal strategy given the strategies chosen by other firms. In this state, no firm can unilaterally deviate to improve its outcome without worsening its situation. In an oligopolistic market, firms often compete on price, production quantity, or product differentiation. At Nash equilibrium, each firm has selected a strategy that maximizes its payoff, assuming the strategies of its rivals remain constant. For instance, if two firms collude to set high prices, they both must believe that the other will not deviate from the agreed-upon pricing. If a firm suspects its rival might lower prices, it may reconsider its strategy, thus leaving the equilibrium. Consequently, Nash equilibrium brings a stability to oligopolistic markets, although this stability is delicate and highly sensitive to assumptions about competitors' actions. Dominant strategies and prisoner's dilemma. Dominant strategies are integral to our understanding of strategic interactions in oligopolistic markets. A firm's dominant strategy is one that yields the highest payoff regardless of the strategies chosen by competing firms. However, in many oligopolistic settings, dominant strategies might not exist, leading firms to rely on other strategic considerations. The prisoner's dilemma is a classic example illustrating the complexity of decision-making in oligopoly. This dilemma reflects a situation where two parties, acting in self-interest, achieve a less optimal outcome than if they had cooperated. Within an oligopoly, firms face a similar paradox. While mutual cooperation, such as maintaining higher prices, favors them collectively, the temptation to undercut competitors for short-term gains often leads to both parties missing more favorable outcomes. This highlights the tension and intricate decision-making required in such markets, as well as the potential inefficiencies that can arise from self-interested strategies. Market structures and their impacts. Comparing oligopoly with other market structures. In the landscape of economic market structures, oligopoly occupies a distinct position characterized by a few dominant firms. This contrasts sharply with perfect competition, where numerous small firms exist. In perfect competition, firms are price takers, unable to influence market prices due to the abundance of competitors offering homogeneous products. Conversely, an oligopoly allows firms substantial market power, enabling them to influence prices, albeit not as freely as a monopoly where a single firm dominates the market entirety. Another comparison can be drawn with monopolistic competition, where many firms offer differentiated products. Each firm has some degree of market power, but the presence of many competitors limits each one's influence. In contrast, the few firms in an oligopoly are highly interdependent. The actions of one firm directly affect the others. This interdependence can lead to strategic behavior such as price fixing and collusion, not typically seen in monopolistic competition. In a monopoly, the market is controlled by a single entity, maximizing profit by setting prices without competition. Oligopolistic markets, while not entirely free from competition, still see significant advantages due to the consolidated power of a few firms controlling significant market shares. Economic outcomes in oligopolistic markets. The economic outcomes in oligopolistic markets are heavily influenced by the strategic interactions between firms. The presence of a few dominant players can lead to increased prices and reduced outputs compared to more competitive markets. This phenomenon often results in higher prices for consumers, as firms in an oligopoly may engage in tacit or explicit collusion to maximize profits. However, oligopolies can also foster innovation. The competitive tension among a few large firms can drive investment in research and development to gain a competitive edge. This can lead to advanced products and services, potentially benefiting consumers. Moreover, firms in an oligopoly are often able to achieve economies of scale, reducing costs and improving efficiency. These efficiencies can translate to benefits within the supply chain and ancillary industries. Yet, the lack of competition can stifle smaller firms and innovation by new entrants, thereby encouraging market stagnation over time. In conclusion, while oligopolistic markets may limit consumer choices and keep prices elevated, they also have the potential to promote technological advancements and operational efficiencies. Case studies in oligopoly and game theory. Automobile industry as an oligopoly. The automobile industry provides a quintessential example of an oligopoly, characterized by a few dominant firms that have significant market power. In this sector, companies like Toyota, Volkswagen, and Ford have historically dominated both domestic and international markets. These firms are interdependent. The actions of one company, such as pricing adjustments or technological innovations, often trigger competitive responses from others. This interdependence aligns with the principles of game theory, primarily the Nash equilibrium, which explains how companies in an oligopoly might adopt non-collusive competitive strategies to maintain market stability and profits. A pertinent illustration of game theory within this industry is the strategic partnership and competition between companies in technological innovations. For instance, the push for electric vehicles has led firms to decide whether to invest heavily in research and development independently or form alliances. Such decisions reflect the use of mixed strategies, where companies weigh potential payoffs based on competitors' actions. This dynamic interplay of cooperative and competitive strategies underlines the oligopolistic nature of the automobile industry. Telecommunications and competitive strategy. The telecommunications sector is another prime example of an oligopoly. Major players like AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile control the market, employing strategies deeply rooted in game theory. These firms often engage in price wars, promotional deals, and network expansions as competitive tactics to gain or secure market share. In this environment, firms anticipate competitors' reactions, leading to strategic behavior that affects pricing and service offerings. Game theory's applications in this sector are evident in spectrum auctions, a process where companies bid for exclusive rights to certain bandwidths. Here, auction theory, a subset of game theory, comes into play. Firms must strategize to secure bandwidths essential for service improvements without overpaying. This involves predicting rivals' bids and counter-strategies, highlighting the importance of thorough competitive analysis. Overall, the telecommunications industry illustrates how oligopolies employ sophisticated strategic frameworks informed by game theory to navigate competitive landscapes. These companies must consistently analyze potential outcomes to maintain a balance between competitive pressures and cooperative opportunities, ensuring sustained profitability in a dynamic market environment.